The search is on for a rich and privileged teenager whose controversial Affluenza defense set off a national firestorm. His lawyers able to keep him out of jail after killing 4 people in a drunk driving accident. But authorities say he's gone missing after failing to check in with his probation officer. Here's ABC's Matt Gutman.
There's 4 or 5 kids. There's kids laying in ditches and streets.
If the crime was outrageous...
Oh, Lord. Oh, yes, there's another child in the ditch. Oh, my God.
So, said the pundits, was the defense.
Affluenza.
Affluenza.
Too rich for jail.
The lawyer told Judge Gene Boyd he was so rich he didn't know right from wrong.
But it seemed to work, facing up to 20 years in prison for killing 4 in a drunken car crash. Then 16-year-old Ethan Couch got only 10 years probation and time in rehab. Now, almost 2 years later, he's on the run. Failing to check in with his probation officer earlier this month, police have now issued the equivalent of a warrant for his arrest.
If he's still here, then we'll get him. But my fear is he's gone, and he's long gone.
His disappearance coming after this undated video surfaced. Is that him allegedly enjoying a night of beer pong?
Once that video came out, that they felt like that a probation violation could be coming.
The video retweeted by Hannah Hardy to the DA's office, writing, "Ya boy Ethan Couch violating probation. I got more if you want."
To be a violation of his probation, they'd need evidence that he was actually drinking, not just at a party where other people were drinking.
It all started on the night of June 15th, 2013. Couch's blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit, and he got behind the wheel of his father's souped-up red pickup truck after a night of partying. Gunning it to 70 miles an hour, he lost control of the vehicle and swerved into a ditch, plowing into a group of people. Bodies had been scattered hundreds of feet. 15-year-old Lucas McConnell survived the crash.
Do you remember the sound of metal crunching, of glass breaking?
Glass breaking, tires screeching. The car that we were in got hit, and we got shot across the road. We nailed a tree. The back window was completely shattered. A lot of that glass was in the back of our heads.
Lucas's father, Kevin McConnell, pulled up to the crash scene just moments later.
It was chaos. There were people lying around, injured, hurt, dead, people yelling, screaming, "Help me."
The teen behind the wheel, Ethan Couch, walked away from that mangled truck.
Once Ethan Couch was found, the story came together pretty quickly.
It wasn't just alcohol in his system.
So not only was he drunk, but there were traces of THC, Valium, and some other drugs.
Right, which, according to our toxicologists, were bad enough on their own, but you combine those with alcohol, just a recipe for disaster.
Richard Alpert is an assistant district attorney who came onto the case just a day after the crash. And he says he charged Ethan with everything he could, including 4 counts of intoxication manslaughter. Alpert wanted the poor little rich kid to do some big boy time.
We were hoping for and asked for 20 years.
But it was determined he'd be tried as a juvenile. And when Ethan Couch loped into court, the selfie swagger from Facebook had been replaced with this. Abby Jennings, daughter of victim Brian Jennings, couldn't believe it.
They made him look really innocent for the trial, and that's not who he was.
But it turned out there would be no trial. Ethan Couch admitted guilt, and the proceedings moved directly to a sentencing hearing. And now we come to the key moment in this case. While recommending treatment over incarceration, Dr. Dick Miller, a prominent psychologist hired by the Powerhouse defense team, drops a curious term.
Affluenza.
Which goes off like a bomb. Affluenza.
He got up there and he talked about the fact that the reason for this crime was he was a child of privilege and his parents didn't say no to him.
When you heard it, what did you think?
I smiled. I mean, it was ridiculous.
And that may have been a factor in the judge sentencing Ethan to 10 years probation and time in a rehab facility. 4 dead, 9 injured, and not a single day behind bars. 5 of the families involved in the fatal crash brought civil lawsuits. The Couches settled those suits without admitting any wrongdoing. But not before depositions were taken in one last case. And for the first time, the boy and his parents at the center of this story were forced to speak.
Tell us your name, please, sir.
Ethan Couch.
It fell to lawyers to extract the peculiar family history that shaped young Ethan's life.
I'm taking Valium, hydrocodone, marijuana, cocaine, Xanax, Vyvanse. I think I tried ecstasy once. Pretty sure that was it.
They say his parents let Ethan fast forward into adulthood, allowing him to live in this 4,000 square foot ranch house. These pictures from the website Zillow show a wet bar in the den and a swimming pool out back. And letting him drive a car from the time he was 13 years old.
You understood if he was, at any time he was under 16, he was never to be driving by himself.
Yes.
Nevertheless, you allowed that behavior to happen, correct?
Yes.
I just kept asking because I wanted to, and eventually they started letting me drive just to like the corner store by myself.
Just 4 months before the fatal crash, 15-year-old Ethan was stopped by police at 1 a.m. under the influence and relieving himself in a parking lot.
His mother shows up, starts talking to him, so she clearly knew he was out there.
Did you ask him where he got the alcohol and the vodka that was in the truck?
No, I should have, but I did not.
These attorneys say Ethan Couch was violating as many as 5 laws that night. As a result of that incident before the deadly crash, Ethan was required to complete an alcohol awareness course and 8 hours of community service within 90 days. Guess what?
We didn't do the community service.
Okay. You understood, did you not, that he was likely to continue the drinking and driving if there weren't consequences?
I should have known that, yes. I really didn't think that that would happen again.
Ethan is questioned about the night of that deadly crash.
Do you remember pulling out of the driveway?
Not really. I had just a picture in my head of just turning out of the driveway, but that's it.
What's the next thing you recall?
Waking up handcuffed to the hospital bed.
And after all of this, Ethan's father actually distances himself from the affluenza phrase.
I don't even know that I believe affluenza is real.
Ethan's parents branded in the media as the worst parents ever.
I don't think we're profoundly dysfunctional.
Did you teach Ethan that wealth bought privilege?
I don't believe I ever intentionally tried to teach him that.
Do you recall ever disciplining Ethan for anything?
Sometimes I would take little things away from him, or we would just discuss the problems.
When's the last time you recall disciplining Ethan for anything?
I don't remember.
But tonight, authorities say they fear Ethan Couch is on the run. And there's speculation that his mother may have helped.
Certainly she could face criminal charges for doing that. It is against the law, clearly.
And authorities fear he may have left the country.
With the kind of money and the resources and the ability those people have, they could be somewhere where we're not going to be able to touch him.
For Nightline, I'm Matt Gutman in Los Angeles.